Thereafter, I went to Calabar and pursued a PhD in international humanitarian law. Still not satisfied, I went to Turin and pursued a diploma in public procurement. Then thereafter, I went back again to the University of Dundee, where I bagged distinction, Masters in Laws in Peace Conflict Resolution. Then as chairman of council, I enrolled in now what is now known as the Rivers State University and pursued an MSc degree in Peace, Security and Conflict Resolution. I just finished a PhD in that same field. So I'm not.
Congratulations on the PhD.
I'm not a rabble rouser when I speak. When if you watch for some time now, I had decided to become taciturn on the issues that are going on in Rivers State because I have christened it as as a theater of the absurd. Now, I am not here to respond to bricklayers, carpenters, or any kind of artisans. That's not what I'm here to do. But I just want to put the record straight that as a Catholic, the event that happened on the floor of the Rivers State House of Assembly on precisely the 9th of July, 2013, where I was seen on the floor of the house running amok with a mace, of course, and all that. I did come back. Maybe the character that appeared here yesterday didn't know that it was too junior to discuss me politically, I did come back on the 24th of August, 2020, in a widely televised event. The governor of Rivers State, as he then was, Chief E.M. Wike, made it possible for myself and the other protagonists to meet in Government House and reconcile. It was widely, thanks to my Chief Press Secretary, Bright Jose Elendo, who availed the public of the videos of that all-important reconciliation. Then thereafter, I took a step further, got my friends and political associates, the likes of Prince Well Iwosu, the likes of the paramount ruler of Epricom clan, His Royal Majesty Barry Owabie, the resident commissioner now of Edo State, the INEC, Chief Barrister Anubu Monoha, because I am also a chief in the Epricom kingdom. So they followed me. It wasn't something that happened in the night. My family, my father-in-law, my wife, my children, we went to the Chindas in their house in Uzoba, and we showed penitence. What happened on the floor of that assembly was spontaneous. It wasn't just they that were beaten. I was also beaten. But if you look at it on the average, you get the point.
Yes, on the scale.
The fertility was more on the other side. So I had to purge myself publicly. So when those carpenters come here and tell you he didn't apologize, talk is cheap. Talk is very cheap. And this continues to be the reason why the crisis we have in Rivers State continues to be exacerbated. Because these are wannabes who feel that they are in a hurry to be like the Chidi Lloyds, to be like the Samuel Wanosike's. And they made reference to a certain incident that happened where Dr. Wanosike used some uncouth words against the governor. Maybe this same character forgot that he was in an event in Isopo where Dr. Samuel Wanosike publicly apologized to the governor for using uncouth language against him. I mean, people can do things and thereafter it's, I have gone beyond my bounds. In this instance, in the present, the topic that we are discussing, what was it? You have said it in your introductory speech. The governor, as it were, approached the minister of the FCT. Because the minister of the FCT is a peaceful person, he let him in and said, "Gentleman, how are you?" He said, "Fine." How is your family? He said, "Fine." That is not the posture of a man who is averse to peace. And he said, "Look, a lot has happened. There are people you need to take steps And when those steps are taken, it will reverberate back to the Minister for FCT. Would you say that if the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, the Right Honorable Martin Chika Mehule, demands an apology, it mustn't be public, it mustn't be done in radio info, that if the governor drives to the Speaker who would have been killed when some disgruntled youths attacked his residence, where his wife and children live. Imagine the trauma, Andrew. Will he be asking for too much if the governor says, oh, gentlemen, let bygone be bygone? Will it be too much to ask for by Sergeant or His Royal Majesty Sergeant Awuse, who was on a hospital bed in London and heard about his sack? The sack, it wasn't the problem. The words that were used in the governor's 100 years celebration of 100 years days in office, that Sergeant Awuse is a man of unstable character. How uncharitable.
Was he sacked? I thought his tenure elapsed.
No, the tenure wasn't elapsed. No, you are here to educate and inform the people. Just find out what happened. He was barely a year in that office before he was booted out. You know, he came in preparatory to the former governor's exit. And it isn't a yearly tenure. So he was barely a year when he was booted out. Now for council chairmen, who were the coordinators, the campaign coordinators of the governor. We had a meeting with him where he told us he has all the powers on earth, he will sack us and we will smell. And of course in that meeting I stood up and said, Your Excellency, sorry sir, I'm not sure I will smell, I'm a lawyer. And a good number of my colleagues here are lawyers. Some are engineers. Some hold PhDs. A good number of us there have been cabinet commissioners. We will not smell. Sir, we will not. We didn't also come here to perpetuate ourselves in office. If we know it's tenured. Mm-hmm. So the day you come in, you already know when you will leave. So these were the things. So if we were thrown out of office without salary, it's as if you got a knife and gave to your enemy to cut you. And this contravenes the provisions of the Bible in Luke chapter 19 verse 27, where it was said, bring those who said I will not rule over them, bring them to me and kill them before me. It is there, copiously written. Rather than do so, what we saw was that all of those people who said the governor was too small, how can they serve father and son, were now the men Fridays of the governor. And you think that an apology to us would not suffice? So now these are the things, the steps you take, which I'm sure that the Honorable Minister of the FCT was referring to. You know, ab initio, he had always referred to structure.
Yes.
You cannot make an omelette without cracking eggs, right? So structure, there are components that make up the structure. You mean you will not speak to the Chief Ferdinand Anabraba and you think that you now have peace? A lot of people were offended. And let me give you the quotable quotes of the governor. Some of the quotable quotes of the governor during this interregnum. One, we have gotten the tapiapia that we used to kill the rat that used to eat the gari in the house. The jungle don't mature. Oh, fire don't open. Oh, these assembly boys and
the language girls. Anyways.
Good. These are quoting him.
Yes.
That's why I say quotable quotes.
Yeah.
These assembly boys and girls used to eat in my house. I used to pay their school fees. Oh, we will build a psychiatric in Obiakwa where they will need them. The list is endless. And Andrew, a man who says, let us make genuine peace. What we need in the state now is not the peace of the graveyard.
All right. From what you say quite a lot because of the commercials we have, and then we'd also have to take
so I only came this morning to react to you, not to I wouldn't want to be
I
dragged
wasn't
into-
the one that said anything.
No,
So it can't be
because
me.
you provided the avenue.
Ye-
So that's
yes.
why you and I are talking
And that's
now.
our- that's
Not
our
to
job.
react to
That's our job
carpenters
as the
and
media.
journalists and all
But
that.
we didn't have carpenters.
Okay.
Or artisan workers on the show.
No. Quoting Ruben Abati, quoting Dr. Abati.
But let's come to this. Some people would say, let's start with the quotes immediately. There are those that argue that, all right, this quotes thing in the politics, well, nobody's name was mentioned directly to say this is who we were talking to. But then politically at the time, because of the situation, people would put one or two together. They would say it wasn't only one-sided. And the governor also deserves to get an apology from a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And there's one that was credited to you that said you described the governor as a kindergarten governor.
No. That wouldn't have come from me.
I needed you to clarify if that ever happened.
I wouldn't have said kindergarten governor. I just gave you my resume. What I remember I said, if at all it was offensive, is that Rivers State cannot be for a learner driver. We rather gave the governor a Bentley when he hadn't learned how to drive instead of a Beetle. That was my most famous quote during this interregnum.
Okay.
So I couldn't have, in my right senses, said that the government referred to the governor. No. The office is very crucial. That is what makes us as Rivers people.
So then, is it fair to say that the governor also deserves to get some apology? Because we got reports that the governor was also disrespected.
I want to address that. There were
reports that he was disrespected at a very high level in secret meetings and other places that wasn't public. But those things happened.
Andrew, I want to imagine. Close your eyes a minute and imagine that the victory went the other way. That it is those who refer to themselves as simplified that got victory at the Supreme Court. Some of us would have been buried like the disciples, some head down, some thrown into hot
Isn't that
water.
the politics of Rivers State?
No, that's not the politics of Rivers State.
If memory serves
this
me
is
right,
alien. What you see now is nouvelle.
If memory serves me right, the winner have always taken all in Rivers State politics.
Let me tell you. In international law, prisoners of war do not negotiate. This would have happened. What you are talking about now would have happened before the judgment of the Supreme Court. Now there is a clear winner. POWs don't negotiate. You do as your captor have said. But in this case, there are no captors. We are only saying, sure, because a lot has happened. We went before the president and did some things. And people reneged after saying that no price is too much to pay for peace.
People argued that both sides didn't fulfill all of the details in that agreement.
Okay, which means we will remain there. We will remain there because both sides did not agree.
All right, we'll take a short
commercial. Now there is a clear winner, and the fellow that read the news before I came into the studio, re-echoed what the Supreme Court said. At least no Rivers person sat on that panel.
All right, we'll take a short commercial. When we come back, we'll get more response and take questions. I'm pretty sure there's a lot people want to ask you with regards to all of this. That's it on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. We are live, so you can watch and listen to us on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. After the short commercial, the conversation continues with Dr. Chidi Lloyd. Stay with us.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, 92.3 Nigeria Info. The morning crossfire continues. My name is Ifeemi Andrew, and of course, still with us in the studio is the Honorable former Commissioner for EMOLGA Council, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, in the studio. Doc, I'm looking forward to adding Prof to your name. So
Yeah, very soon.
Because I'm waiting. I almost said Prof now. That's why.
That's why you rather refer to me as commissioner. I have never been commissioner.
All right, then. The conversation continues, and my guest has said quite a lot. If you listen to the first half of our conversation, for those who missed it, go online. It is on Facebook Live at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, so you can watch the whole conversation again, and you can catch up with what the conversation has been. Meanwhile, moving forward, we'll take some of your comments and then come over to my guest to also respond to a few more questions that we have set for him. You can be a part of it. Simply get on WhatsApp and send your message and questions 0809-030-6416. On Facebook, we asked the question, should the governor also be demanding an apology? And if you listen when I asked my guest, he says, well, you can't say that the governor too shouldn't say he doesn't deserve to get an apology because he might feel a certain way. And if this resolution has to be holistic, there are some places where he would say, also, I deserve to be apologized to. And that would happen because we need the peace in Rivers State if we must make progress. So on WhatsApp, 0809-030-6416. That's the number to send your messages to. On YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. Well, that said, let me come back to my guest now quickly. Well, we've agreed on a lot of things that you set a template, the first half of the conversation, and said quite a lot. But now, the big question for many is, looking at the political dynamics in Rivers State, if we follow the history of politics in this state and how it works, many believe that it is impossible to have this peace, that at most what we would have is an agreement. But then we would now see the true meaning of whether this peace is worth it come the next election. Do you think that this peace would work? Prior to this time, remember, it was even difficult for many who were seen as loyalists to the FCT minister to recognize the office of the governor or the governor as a leader in Rivers State in the PDP. It was a huge question because there are some people I spoke with at the time, some commissioners, some just political stakeholders who were very not direct with to say, in fact, it came as though it was difficult to say the governor is leader.
No, it wasn't. Andrew, you see, there are things. I would plead that we remove emotions from what we are doing. Right? The PDP has a constitution, and there is nowhere in the constitution of the party that the governor is referred to as the leader. It may have been the norm then, but once somebody stands up to challenge it, of course you will refer to the constitution. Just like the governors forum, the PDP governors forum at the national level. Some persons have gone to court to say no. The governors forum cannot choose for us a national secretary because they are not an organ of the party. You understand?
So did the constitution of the PDP state then what should qualify who or who can be called a leader of the party?
No, the leaders choose their followers choose their leaders. Leaders don't choose their followers.
According to the Bible, is that in the PDP constitution?
That's what I'm saying. It's not in the PDP. What I just quoted now is in the Bible. The Bible says, at the time, the children of Israel hadn't a leader. They say, come and lead us. They now went to certain leaders in the Bible. The Bible say, come and lead. So that's the point I'm trying to make. The minister of the Federal Capital Territory at all times is the leader of the PDP in Rivers State. It's just like asking who is the leader of the PDP at the national level. So it is not, the office does not.
So who is the leader of the PDP at the national level?
Well, that will, when I come again, when I come for another thing, I will need to research because I'm a scholar. I need to know what has happened this morning.
Who is the leader of the PDP in Bayelsa State?
And that will be taking me outside jurisdiction.
Okay. If we put it that way, fantastic.
That will be taking me outside jurisdiction.
The listeners,
I don't have the locus to speak on the
but do you think, because like I was saying before the break, there's the argument that a lot of people in the cabinet of the governor who were working with him or who worked for him to be governor do not or did not respect the governor as a governor of Rivers State.
Such
Or don't
as-
see
such
him.
as- is it
Now,
Andrew?
now
Andrew,
these are like I'm
these are
saying,
not
like I said,
conversations that we
exactly.
should
This, like
further.
I'm saying now, like I said, it's
You
these are
don't
things.
respect a man, yet
these are-
you are working under his
Yeah,
cabinet.
these
These
are-
are the tales that these wannabes that appear here.
So these things
are
never happen.
They don't. How would a man who work for you, who has agreed to be your commissioner, not respect you? You see, these are details, and the governor, or the suspended governor rather, was not able to navigate these political shibboleths and icebergs. These are shibboleths. These are icebergs, trumped up by politicians. The mere fact that I agree to be screened after the governor nominates me makes me whole and entire his property. I mean, in terms of service. So when they come and bandy such words, we saw what happened because all of these people were using the governor to fight their own fight. People who wanted to ride in bulletproof cars but hadn't. We are looking for opportunities where they will enter the council and plunder it and mortgage the council till 2007. That was what has happened recently. Some chairmen mortgage councils that they were called to superintend over. So they were in a hurry to be like other persons. That was what happened. Because this whole gamut of what we are talking about, are you still hearing the go? Do you still hear it again? So that's what we are saying. Let them, the governor has come out to say, look, my supporters, it's not every fight that those Oshogbe solves. This is quoting the governor too. Allow me to do my thing. Because we know that this is not the Siminalayi Fubara, Your Excellency, that we know. A lot of water has passed under the bridge. But you see now, it is his course. And I want to plead that they allow him to navigate these icebergs the way he thinks is best. Because at the end of the day, in one of our meetings, I did advise that I said, okay, at the end of the day, people will refer to it as the Siminalayi Fubara-led administration. And what will be important is what you do for people. And I'm sure that the governor, because of all of these distractions, may not have impacted on his local government. That is what is key. Who knows again when this kind of miracle will happen? That Opopo will produce governor. Who knows? That is why when we get this type of opportunities, it's just like me coming from Apabo. And we need to go there. I have done my bit. I'm still doing. Because that is what is important. When you have an opportunity and you bring infrastructure to your people, you are inadvertently preparing your funeral. If there is no road, people won't come. Right? So you make sure you provide infrastructure for those who will attend your funeral. If there is no electricity, they will not sleep over. If there is no good water, they won't spend time. They may probably leave from the church. So these are the things. Let them allow all the heating up the polity the way they are doing. If I were them, but God forbid, I would not react to anything said by anybody from the minister's camp.
Then why?
Because
there
the
is this
minister's
word. Camp shouldn't say anything
No,
as well.
hold on. The minister, let me tell you now. The minister's camp, they have been reacting now to the trauma that they have been put through. You can't beat a child and not allow it cry. They should ignore and concentrate on the bigger picture, which is for us to make peace. Because there is this popular Bible verse, Amos 3:3, right? Can two walk together
Unless
except
they
they
agree?
agree? Good.
So there's an agreement now. And
No, there is not. I didn't say so. What I'm saying is that can two work together for there to be peace, or for the governor to return to office? Himself and the members of the assembly who are suspended too will have to go before Mr. President to say, Father, please forgive us our trespasses. We now we have made
but
amends.
like you said in your case, when the whole resolution was done, you said the governor at the time was the FCT minister. Now was very instrumental in getting everybody together and sorting this.
No, first I took the bold step. The FCT minister didn't just come and no. When I got back from the University of Dundee, I decided to rejoin the PDP. That was the first step. I made peace. Now it was now easy for him now to say, okay, all of those who were involved, Victor, the Honorable Victor Ihunwo, the Honorable Kelechi Wogu, the Honorable Evans Bibi, the Honorable Michael Okechukwu Chinda, we all came back. It's there.
So why is the same apply? Because now the governor has gone to the FCT minister, who in the whole of this that was where it started. So now you have spoken with the FCT minister.
Andrew.
Why isn't the FCT minister saying, okay, you have come, we have seen that you're saying, let me help and get these people together, and then you come talk to them. But instead, you're saying go and meet everybody independently.
The scenarios are not the same. Don't confuse. The point I made, the reference I made to my own matter is that I stooped to conquer.
Okay.
You get the point? I stooped to conquer. I showed penitence as a Catholic that I am. I knew I had caused somebody pain. And I took steps to go and beg the person. Couldn't I have said, yes, the FCT minister had called all of us to government house, so be it. The FCT minister gave me the leeway. Maybe I would have been contemplating going to the Chindas. But I don't know what would happen if I went there. Because of anger. So that opportunity the FCT minister provided for me in government house, that made me to now reach out to them. I went to the Chindas, I went to the Ihunwas, I went to the Wogus, I went to the Babakayes. So these are behind the scene. Now in the making of a movie, Andrew, you know it. That are behind the scenes. People get injured. But don't watch that, do you?
So behind the scene, in your opinion, the governor has not met any.
He hasn't, because this will revibrate. This will revibrate back to the FCT minister. So that his followers will not say, oh, so all of these things just happen. He's a politician.
All right.
He's a father. These people will tell him, oh, gentlemen, can we? Oh, no. I think let bygone be bygone. The governor was here. He had talked to me. Look, this is not rocket science. We must keep this ego aside. He has a wonderful opportunity to have become governor of Rivers State less than 50. And I admire him. Before these political buccaneers came in and imagine people who swore they will not support him. Now are those who are opening. I don't know where people come out from their houses and leave their senses in the bedroom.
Let's go to the phone lines and take a few calls with the limited time we have left. 0817-923-0007. Straight to your response. The moment you get on, just go straight to your response. And my guest that says, yes, if the area that the governor deserves an apology, it is also going to get it. What do you think? You've been following the conversation. Let us know what your thoughts are. 0817-923-0007. Again, please try to be as civil and as short as possible so we can manage the time. Mufasa from NTA Road, we start with you. Good morning.
Yeah, hi, Andrew. Good morning.
Fantastic. Go on.
Yeah, morning to your guest. Well, for me, I want to say that what we want is peace. And from the statement your guest made that has brought about all this controversy and all of that, I'm sure you understand that if they asked to make the statement again, would have, taken another path. When you say the governor should come and apologize to everybody, to yourself and all of that, it is on record, Honorable Chidi Lloyd, that there was a time you bought a goat and you labeled that goat. He was dancing with
I challenge you to produce that goat. I challenge you to produce the goat.
I want to ask. I can send you videos.
Send me video where you saw the label of the governor on the goat.
Has he apologized to the governor and river people for portraying the
Okay, no, don't worry. Keep drumming the piece of. Don't worry. Let him not apologize. We are here.
He's even dodging the questions that you're asking him.
All right, let's go to Ada George. Chima is on the line. Chima, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
All right, go on, Chima.
Andrew, I think governor does not owe your guest any apology. I can tell him for free. Because he didn't come out openly. According to me, he was talking about something happening behind the scenes. Did he come out openly to come and apologize to Rivers?
I did.
After he attempted to kill somebody at the assembly.
I did.
He didn't.
I did. I'm telling you, you can see it. It's viral on Facebook.
He also made mention of people who want to eat for what they did not so, calling them political buccaneer. I believe those people, they are Rivers people. They are part of Rivers State. Did you work for Wiki and before this time? Because I know that you vowed that you aren't going back to PDP. At the time you went back. So what happened? Did you work for Wiki?
How does this attack on me solve the problem on ground?
All right, Chima, just go straight to the point.
You can shout as much as you can in your bedroom. If he doesn't change the situation.
Honorable, let's allow him just make his point so that we can respond to all of them before
I
we
didn't
wrap up.
work for Wike. It is obvious. I didn't.
The people who are part of the PDP, who are Rivers State, they should not be part of the government because you want to take everything.
You see, that's the problem.
Right.
What is there to be taken?
All right, Chima. All right, Chima, thank you. Thank you. You will get response of my guests, but let's just when we call in, let's go straight to the question of the point, and then my guest to respond. Lawson from Rumigbo, quickly, please.
Yes, when your guest says that the suspended governor has to apologize to them, I am 100%, and I say this on the premise that sometime in April 2024. The governor called the head of local government, treasurers, and directed them to take over from the elected local government chairman. And that from April, that in fact, he started this suspension or what will I call state of emergency in Rivers State. People were elected to superintend over local government. He took it away from them. And they are not, being in charge of the local government until the 18th day of June. So, if you do this to an elected executive, that you took away his mandate that the people bestowed on him, you took it away from him, and he didn't function 3 months or 4 months for that of your guest, 4 months, for other local government, 3 months, they didn't function as chairmen before the expiration of their tenure. And you say they don't deserve. He called for suspension, and Kama had befall on him because he suspended them, and Kama acted swiftly. Amen. And he too was also suspended by the president. So we should also take it. So you need to apologize. So
Lawson, does that mean the president would apologize to him later?
No, he didn't say that. Andrew,
no, I'm asking. No, because he said the governor needs to apologize to you and others because of all that happened.
No. You see, what he is saying is, look, if you offend people, Andrew, what do you do when you seek peace? Which one comes first? Do you just say peace? That happens in the brotherhood of cross and star. Peace of the father, even if the man has not eaten. Is that what we want? No, we are not playing. Are we playing to the gallery?
Well, people feel that in their
justice,
opinion, if you listen,
look,
justice,
that's what I'm saying.
And it should be both ways because they feel that the governor also deserves some.
Okay, now listen. Are the equities the same? When you say both ways, what will come first now? A man has gotten judgment, has defeated you. You have left office. So who should stoop to conquer? That is the point I'm making.
If the governor decides to say he doesn't want to come back because he suggested.
No, he said he had already left.
But it's just because if it was up to him, he would have not come back. But please. Then there are other things involved. Justice Mudioga, good morning.
Andrew, good morning.
Good morning.
Andrew, they said he who must go with equity must go with clean hands. On the 1st of January 2024, I sent your guest, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, WhatsApp message to wish him happy birthday. Dr. Chidi Lloyd responded after 5 days by cursing me. He said Thunder should fire me for wishing him happy birthday. Now, Dr. Chidi Lloyd.
Okay, he's here also. I'm pretty sure he would.
Apology from governor. Can you give what you cannot give? Can you demand what you cannot give? How is Chidi Lloyd standing to demand apology from governor if he has wronged somebody and he has not apologized to the person? Dr. Chidi Lloyd, have you apologized for me for cursing me?
Now,
okay,
Andrew,
Justice, I'm confused with this because
Andrew,
I'm also confused.
Hold on. You see, those are the things when you provide this kind of avenue. This boy is not taller than this your microphone. He's my kid brother from Obudioga. I'm far back. He's senior. Justice Ori is not age mates with the last child of my parents.
Okay.
Right?
So I see.
And all he does every day is abuse me on every early morning, 6 a.m. when he wakes up, Chidi Lloyd and so on. Then I wake up sometimes on my birthday, and the first message I see from Justice is happy birthday. I ordinarily think that this is
emotionally
this is a new way strategy of abusing me. And the same, he comes on air now to say I should look in Ikwere. If I apologize to Justice, it's not a good thing that has happened to you. In Ikwere ethnic nationality where I am from, if Justice offends me, he will apologize to me. If I offend him,
he will still come and apologize to you.
So I wish you were continue in your trade, right. Justice.
Unfortunately, God's power, we had to interrupt the call. We can't take any more because we don't have enough time. My guest would need to wrap up. We took some of your messages earlier. Let's see if we can touch on a few more. This one says, God bless you, Dr. Chidi Lloyd. You've spoken well. This is from God's time. Oworuchukwu. Barriena says, thank God people are challenging his views. Ability says, Dr. Chidi Lloyd should just keep the pride aside and join the peace movement. Let's get your response. We have less than 2 minutes.
No, bro, no, there's no pride. I'm not the one who is proud here.
Okay.
Right? Andrew, look, I don't also blame those who don't understand what I said. You know the story of the Ethiopian eunuch and Philip. Understand that word that we read it. The reason why a teacher will come to class, teach, and people will fail and some pass is because of the different degrees of understanding. What was it that I said? That was not said by the FCT, the former Nebuchadnezzar, who is today daddy. Let's not pretend. The Bible says, pursue peace. It didn't say stroll. It didn't say stroll. Pursue peace. The government should pursue peace. It doesn't matter.
All right.
Should pursue peace. You should leave these telephone callers and do it. And I'm happy the day he said it on the
service for
and he said, look,
late part in class.
No, your hearts are too black. And I know that Governor Fubara's heart is not as black as some of those. You mean, Andrew, are you telling me in good conscience that a man whose coffin was carried with his posters and buried doesn't deserve an apology? Is that what you're telling me? Okay, let's continue now.
All right.
Let's continue. I wish
on that note, we'd have to wrap it up here.
A mock burial. You carry out a mock burial for a man with wife and children. And they say, look, let bygone be bygone. They say it's too much to ask for.
All right,
for me to apologize.
That's the much we can take. Thank you very much, Doc, for your time.
Thank you.
It was great having you.
Pleasure.
My name is Ifeemi Andrew, and this is where we wrap things up. After the commercial, you know what comes next, the news at 9, and then Hello Port Harcourt follows immediately. Stay with us.